I wonder what's going on over on gay Reddit. I'm sure everyone over there is acting normal and having a totally Oh. Hey guys, Brad here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a deep dive into the progressive, open-minded, and tolerant world that is gay Reddit. As you all know, in addition to being a libertarian conservative political commentator and content creator, and also it's giving YouTuber vibes. We've gained about like 8,000 subscribers on here over the last month, so welcome. If you're new here, stick around. But as you all know, in addition to that, I am also a flaming homosexual, as some wackadoodles on social media love to remind me, as if I don't know or as if I think that's a bad thing. So I do follow a bit of gay culture and a bit of online gay circles, and one of those is a Reddit group called r/gaybros. It posts a lot of what I'd call wholesome content, right? Like relationship stories or different things that I generally find, nice and heartwarming to watch. But sometimes it gets political and then it gets really toxic and really gross really fast.
Boo, you whore.
And the latest example of that comes right around this election with the discussion of gay Republicans coming up. And we're not talking about some tiny fringe, it's about 10 to 15% of the LGBT community that votes Republican. Now in this case, it came up because one user posted an interaction he had with a guy he was talking to, probably met on one of the dating apps, where they basically exchanged their party affiliation and then things died off. One of them goes, so, question, R or D? He goes, D. You? R. And then it's awkward. I guess we'll just probably ghost each other now. LOL, hope not. If you like to, I can't stop you, don't care. So the actual exchange here, not that wild, not that significant. It was the comments on this post that were truly unhinged. Some of them were funny, like this one. If R, then no D. But, much more seriously, a lot of these comments were really bashing gay Republicans.
Can't sit with us!
Acting as if they're all evil or traitors or stupid, and politics is just so simple as red team bad, blue team good. Here's one. Just a reminder, the official Republican platform seeks to rescind marriage equality and protect businesses who fire gay employees under the guise of religious freedom. I'd consider that a deal breaker for sex. First of all, the platforms of both parties say all sorts of random crap, and they're not particularly relevant. They're voted on by delegates, they're niche documents, they're not binding. Lots of Republicans support gay marriage. In fact, a majority, according to polls now. It's also just weird to me that you would be considering stances on gay marriage when it comes to sex.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die.
Maybe you should be considering, does this person care about me? Do I want to have a future with this person? Am I treating my body like a disposable object? Maybe those would be more important concerns here than having some sort of political test before you sleep with a stranger. Another guy says, literally, I have set myself the boundary of never ever getting with a Republican. There's no argument otherwise. If you are gay, bi, etc., and voting for a party who wants to take away your rights, you don't have enough self-respect to deserve a relationship, IMO. So if you're a gay Republican, you should die alone and starve on an island, and you don't deserve even a relationship or anyone to talk to you. But we're totally loving and tolerant and open-minded. In all seriousness, this idea that Republicans just want to take away all of our rights is really overblown, and it's also really simplistic. Like, you can't just talk about Republicans as a monolith. Republicans are different. Sometimes I vote for Libertarian Party candidates, sometimes I vote for Republicans. For example, two of the Republican congresspeople I really like are Congresswoman Nancy Mace and Peter Meijer. They're fiscal conservatives, they're pro-life, but they're also pro-gay marriage and have voted to enshrine it.
Love ya.
I think they're sensible when it comes to foreign policy and our economy. They told the truth about the 2020 election. Why shouldn't I vote for them? I'm a free-thinking individual, not a member of some monolith that has to make one part of my identity into a binding thing that determines how I can think about everything else. The stakes here are also worth pointing out. Politics includes issues like our literal national security, the end of the world, potentially, world war over foreign policy, the state of our economy, the absolute state of our currency being eroded by inflation and by runaway government spending.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
These are things that literally lead to people starving, to people living or dying, and you're trying to simplify it all down to a gay marriage vote? Real life is a lot more complicated than that. Nah, bro, Republicans are not catching any dick from me. Gay Republicans are even worse than straight ones. Voting against the interests of your own people is disgusting. First off, I think we'll all survive without catching any dick from you and catching anything else.
My breasts can always tell when it's gonna rain.
But the idea that any people as a monolith have a set of interests that aligns with one party or another is simplistic and actually kind of reductive. As a gay person, my interests include my stock portfolio, my income being eroded from inflation, our national security being intact, our economy thriving, and our border being secure. They also include gay rights, sure, but that's not the only thing that defines my identity or my politics. I'm a human being. I'm allowed to care about things other than what box I check off on the census.
And the worst, beware of the plastic.
And if you're saying that that one thing should determine someone's whole worldview, you're actually the one who is intolerant. I also think it's just really overblown, the idea that today's Republicans are really coming after gay people in any meaningful way. Set aside the trans debate, which is distinct from gay rights. Gay marriage is not going anywhere, firstly, to be clear. And there's just no appetite or movement in the Republican Party at large to really go after gay people. That's just honestly ancient history, despite all the other problems the Republican Party has these days. Ghost him. Any gay man who votes for far-right fascism deserves whatever happens to him. Okay, psycho. This is like pretty close to justifying violence against people because of how they think or how they vote. And guess what? If you find yourself doing that, you're not the good guy. Imagine a gay voting Republican. I'd stay away from him as he's clearly too stupid to be worth bothering with.
God, Karen, you are so stupid!
Actually, I think anybody who thinks politics and our entire worldviews and our society can be boiled down to Democrats good, Republicans bad, blue right, red wrong, is actually the one who's too stupid to be bothered with. If the Republicans get back into power, not only do I think they'll go after marriage equality, I don't take for granted my physical safety.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
Well, then you need to get outside and touch grass, bro. Gay marriage is not at risk. There's like one Supreme Court Justice, Clarence Thomas, who's indicated he'd revisit it. Others, like Brett Kavanaugh, specifically said in their Roe v. Wade decision, this is not to cast any doubt on gay marriage. A majority of Republicans now support gay marriage, in fact. As far as your physical safety, I mean, no serious Republican anywhere that I'm aware of is trying to lock up or harm gay people. You're just, you've twisted yourself into some dark fantasies here, and I hope you realize that the reality is not nearly as bad as you think, because you're scaring yourself unnecessarily. If he's a Republican, then it's an instant block. Internalized homophobia, fucked up values, they'd just be a mess. It's really sad to me that you're making assumptions about people just based on one category of their identity.
I'll tell you why, because you are a mean girl! You're a bitch!
You would never make an assumption about somebody because they're black or white or because of their religion or because of their ethnicity or anything else like that. So why are you blindly making assumptions about people and their backgrounds just because of one aspect of their identity? You can't assume anything about somebody just because of how they vote. Real life and real people are a lot more complicated than that. Being a gay Republican is like being a Jewish Nazi. Dude, no! People need to just stop with the Hitler comparisons. They're literally never appropriate or reasonable. Oh my god, you're voting for a party because you care about inflation and you're concerned about the economy and maybe hypothetically there might be some risk to gay marriage. Wow, that basically means you're the same as wanting to kill millions of your own people and put them in concentration camps. Sir, what? Touch grass, bro.
Whatever.
I cannot fathom how a couple with very opposite politics could work. It is already a question of differences in fundamental views and beliefs in life. You know, I actually think there's some truth to this. I'm not saying that cross-ideological or cross-party couples can't work, but increasingly our politics does include things like values. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years, and we're not exactly the same politically, but we do have somewhat similar political instincts. And that's because we share values, including things like autonomy, individualism, work ethic, meritocracy, and much more. That does have some correlation with our politics, and I do think it's important to share values with somebody you're building a life with. But none of that justifies this degree of hostility and hate towards gay Republicans. Thankfully, Reddit is not real life, but I have observed these attitudes outside of the internet, and they're pretty common among the gay community. It's a shame, because gay people are like everybody else. We're individuals with our own thoughts, beliefs, values, and perspectives, and ideally, being gay would become like having blue eyes or having brown hair, another aspect of our identity that is just, an asterisk to who we really are in life. But these people keep wanting to make it the center of our worldview and dominate our lives, yet they have the audacity to call themselves progressives, even though everything they say about the people who don't think like them is reductive and regressive. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I'm Brad Polumbo. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this content. Let me know what you think about gay Republicans and about gay Reddit in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell, yada yada yada, and I'll see you all in the next video.